G'day folks, Martin, Waste Management Coordinator for the Huon Valley Council. We've had a number of people asking us what happens with my recycling after the truck picks it up. Well, today we're off to SKM to see how it gets processed. Let's go. Before anything can be recycled, it needs to be separated so that one type of material is separate from all the others. That happens at the Materials Recycling Facility, or as they like to call them, the MRF. Alright, so this is the SKM factory. It's very noisy. This is where everything gets sorted. Come on inside, let's have a look.
When you first walk into the MRF, it's a little bit confronting. It looks like an enormous pile of garbage, and you wonder how it's ever going to be separated. First of all, they scoop it up with a loader and feed it into the hopper. From there, the recycling commences its journey around the facility on a vast and complex labyrinth of conveyor belts. Different items are removed from the belts at different points in the journey. Whilst there is some specialised technology which helps out with the sorting, it's a surprisingly manual process. Initially, obvious contaminants need to be removed. Common ones include plastic bags, garden hoses, and actual rubbish, which has no place in the recycling process. The fact is that if you chuck something offensive in your recycling bin, like nappies or a dead animal, apparently they get that more often than you'd believe, a human being is going to have to deal with it at the MRF. Worse still are dangerous items like used syringes. Imagine the stress imposed on an employee and their family while they wait months for the medical results to give them an all clear from a blood-borne disease. Which leads me to plastic bags in the recycling bin. There are two major problems with that. One, the bags have a tendency to eventually jam up the conveyor belts and then everything comes to a halt. Worse still, the worker has no idea what's in the bag, and for health and safety reasons, that means the bag ends up going to landfill. So if you are a diligent recycler who's separating your recycling by putting them into different bags, unfortunately, your efforts get wasted because the bags are in the bin. So no plastic bags. Aluminium is separated out using an eddy current. This is in operation. I've slowed down the footage so you can see how it pulls the aluminium away from the rest of the materials. Glass is separated on this bumpy machine. It falls through the gaps onto another conveyor belt. Steel cans are shot off the special conveyor belt, which uses powerful magnets to repel ferrous materials. Paper is separated using a thing called an air classifier. It's like an enormous fan which blows light items like paper up into the air where they trundle along another conveyor belt. Unfortunately, things like plastic film and bags will also get blown up and they have to be manually removed. Cardboard also has to be separated from the system as it has a different recycled use to paper. This machine, which is the end of the cycle, is called a trommel screen. Its purpose is to separate out the pieces of glass which have broken. The glass gets fed out to the glass pile outside. Eventually, whatever's left over comes back around and is run through the process again. Ultimately, the separated materials, cardboard, mixed paper, first-grade paper, plastic, aluminium, steel, etc., is baled up and freighted to mainland Australia, where it is either further processed or sold on to international commodity markets. The China ban on recycling will ultimately be a good thing. Already, clever Aussies are looking for ways that we can put our own recycled materials to better use in our own backyard. Ultimately, it's going to force us down the path of maximising all of our resources and being responsible for the things we consume and the waste we produce.
Well, there you go, guys. That is just incredible, isn't it? What a process. And a big thank you to SKM for letting us come through and give you this tour of their facility. Happy recycling.